Your Pittsburgh Steelers got a much-needed big win on Thursday Night Football thanks to a Quan Alexander interception late in the game down near the goal line. Welcome back to Mic Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's recap the game a little bit. The Pittsburgh Steelers really with a big win and had some moments where they shined, and then they still showed those inconsistencies and those problems, especially in that secondary where they were getting cooked a lot of the times. Wide open guys running down the field, and the Pittsburgh Steelers still need to find a way to fix that in the absence of Minkah Fitzpatrick. And I know when you're missing your all-pro safety, sometimes things look bad, but the Steelers have been doing this all season, giving up a lot of receiving yards, giving up a lot of big catches, and a lot of catches that allow the drives to continue, and Will Levis was able to get in rhythm and really make some big throws. Will Levis really impressed me tonight. I have always thought that he was going to be the better quarterback out of that draft. However, he still took the loss, and he handled the Steelers' pressure quite well. Even in front of him was a makeshift line, a line that was beat up, continued to gain injuries throughout the game, but Will Levis still showed big promise and still showed that he can stand in there and play NFL football. So if you're a Tennessee Titans fan, that's probably something that you should be pretty pleased about. However, on the other side of the coin, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, our Steelers quarterback, Kenny Pickett, still showed moments of inconsistency, big-time misses. One to George Pickens. That was overthrown. That could have been big yards after the catch, and I've seen him do that several times throughout the game, missing guys that were wide open, that were drive killers. And Kenny has to stop those inconsistencies, and I know that he feels the pressure, and I know he's been beat up, battered, and bruised this season. However, he's still got to be able to stand in there and deliver those quality throws whenever it's needed to continue to move the chains. And sometimes Kenny fails in that area and stalls drives. And sometimes I think that it's really not all Matt Canada. And some of it's a lot of Kenny Pickett being inconsistent, not being comfortable, and he has to find that stability. Because when Kenny's on, and he's able to move the chains. But the running game was the big star tonight. And we kept saying all week on the channel, Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren had to have a big game, and well, folks, he did. Jaylen Warren came through and was a real big-time player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he gained a lot of positive yards when they needed him the most. On a 3rd and 1 play, when the Steelers needed it, Jaylen Warren comes through with a big-time run, gaining several yards and continued to move the chains. That run that he almost scored that touchdown on got out at the 1-yard line to set up what was the Pittsburgh Steelers' go-ahead score. That was big. And then Deontay Johnson getting his touchdown after not catching a touchdown pass since Ben Roethlisberger was quarterback of the Steelers. That's how long it's been for Deontay Johnson since he's been in the end zone. What a quality play for Deontay Johnson. And now, maybe that's going to get Deontay Johnson really cooking and really cause defenses to really have to pay him a lot of attention again and really worry about Deontay, which is going to open up a lot of things for Kenny Pickett and that receiving core, especially George Pickens. And then I think you can start to sprinkle in a little bit of that speed of Calvin Austin and really start to spread out an opposing defense and really start to open things up. So there were some big bright spots for your Pittsburgh Steelers. But those big moments to where they failed and they weren't able to capitalize, those are still haunting this team. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers still have to figure out some things. But it looks positive. And now as they head into the Green Bay Packers game, I think this is where you start to gain some steam if you're the Steelers. Go on a little bit of a win streak. Get some confidence. Get yourself fired up and move forward as you're heading toward the real meteor season to make this playoff push. You needed this win tonight to keep pace in the division, and you did so. But this division has some teams heating up. The Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns play well minus a quarterback. The Baltimore Ravens taking real control of the division right now at 6-2. But if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have a little bit of confidence now that you can keep pace and that you're not going to fall behind. Because if you start losing a couple games here or there, I think you're just going to completely fall out of the AFC North race and have to hope for a wild card spot. And if you're the Steelers, I don't think you want to leave it up to fate and leave it up to a wild card spot, because you need to really just secure yourself in the playoffs. Get yourself a chip in a chair, man, like they say in poker, a chip in a chair, to be able to get into the dance and see what happens. But the Steelers still have issues, and if they don't get them solved real soon, I think that it's going to be hard to overcome when you're playing teams like the Bengals, the Ravens, the Browns, and you have to see all them again, and you have to see the Bengals twice. So if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, next week against the Green Bay Packers is where you really got to put a complete game together and really start to get things rolling and get the ball going here, or get the ball pushing down the court and get things really heated up, because you're going to need a little bit of offense. You're going to need a lot more defense and not be able to give up all those big yards when you're facing a guy like Jamar Chase. You can't do it. You have to be able to control that a little bit. Joey Porter Jr. had his rough spots tonight, but he showed a lot of promise, and he kept pace with the DeAndre Hopkins, who's their number one, and that's what we need from Joey Porter Jr. continually, every week. That is matching up against the team's number one. And I felt like he emphasized tackling a little bit tonight. He did have some misses, but he was really giving some effort. You could really see that he was really focused on being a good tackler. However, it wasn't that great, but he still showed some progression in that department. And that's big. All you want to see every week is Joey Porter Jr. growing. And he had some big coverages tonight. Now, he got called for a couple ticky-tack penalties. The one face mask that was there, definitely blatant, but some of those, the referees can't get involved so much, especially late in the game when they're calling a hold, a defensive hold. Like, come on. Now, sometimes you got to let things go a little bit and let the men play. When the game's on the line there at the end, you can't call those little ticky-tack calls, because it really didn't look like a big-time hold to me that warranted a call that late in the game with that much on the line, because it really dictates the game, really dictates the flow, and it could control an outcome. And I don't like that. I don't like the refs meddling in that kind of thing. The defense up front, though, showed a lot of promise to me. I thought Cam Hayward, the return of Cam Hayward was big. I thought he was lights out as usual. He's Cam. I thought he continued to play well. I thought Keanu Benton played well. I thought Larry Ogunjobi, when he was in there, he played well. Montravius Adams, he went down with the ankle injury. I'm not sure about that now. But you can see the addition of Cam Hayward made a difference. And the defensive edge rushers, amazing. Holcomb with that bad injury. I hope he's done, guys, for the year, if you watch the video. And I'm not going to put it up in any short or anything. It was pretty vicious. But if you've seen what happened, Holcomb's probably out for the entire year, and it's probably going to be a long rehab for Cole Holcomb. That's going to hurt the Steelers' defense in a big, big way. However, Quan Alexander stepped up and really played tough tonight. Got that ceiling interception, as we talked about in the intro. And Quan Alexander, I think, is a real great addition to the Steelers' defense, and hopefully he can continue to shine. And the Steelers are going to have to find some answers there at inside linebacker now, with Cole Holcomb going down, who's really playing some good football, probably his best football this season here in the last couple weeks. And that's going to be a big loss for the Steelers. Again, guys, we'll break down this game a little bit further with our episode tomorrow. Probably sometime tomorrow. If you're getting this in the morning, it'll be later in the day. If you're getting this tonight, it'll be sometime tomorrow. But we'll do another episode. We'll break things down a little bit further after I rewatch the game, and we'll really try to get down to the nuts and bolts of this thing and see where we can see where the Steelers maybe can progress a little bit, and where the Steelers shined a little bit last night in the Thursday night football game. So again, guys, your Steelers win big game, improved to 5-3. We all said that Jaylen Warren needed a big night. He came through. There were some big stars. We'll highlight those all again tomorrow on the episode here on Mic Drop Sports. So continue to watch, guys. Continue to subscribe. I appreciate it all. Thank you so much. And until next time, peace.